Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gearries Esports Pro League. I'm Colin the Crow Clark, being joined still by Jacob MVPR, the one and the only. We have had two fantastic matchups tonight. Both of them, though, I believe go the way of 2-0. Or no, Rise went 2-1, map 3. Rebel goes 2-0 over Fire and Ice. This next matchup, though, might get a little interesting. Noble showing some signs of life, are going up against a team that had a bit of a stumble, I would say, last night. So will Noble be able to take advantage of eUnited? Will they continue to rise to an occasion and take on these top dogs? Or eUnited, they could come out for blood tonight, PR? What's your early thoughts on this one?
My early thoughts right now is this is going to be scary. This is going to be scary. But I will say, Noble, since the Morty's joining the squad, they have been better. And honestly, you could not watch the games and you notice they have a win in their column, and that's all the proof you need about performing better. They took out Rise, not the best squad in the game. But honestly, you got to start somewhere. And you talked about it. They're heating up. They're finding themselves. Mortifys and Lava reunited back onto that roster together. They did have a short stint together. And I do believe they might have even taken out a team known as NRG in our first event in Gears 5 that wasn't an invitational. So they have the chemistry under their belt.
Look, I'm the one that originally, when they had Mortifys, I said, look, this is a little reunion from that OG Mazer squad that took out NRG. But I'm going to tell you right now, Mortifys has looked fantastic, but if you really want to have a powerhouse team and you're trying to have a Mazer return, you're going to have a little teamwork come back from those old squads. I mean, you can't have it without Silk Red Do-Rag, my man Sneak, on its squad, okay? Sneak came into that Sunday wearing an all-white tracksuit with a Silk Red Do-Rag. That man was ready. He was going to make somebody pay for their transgressions on that Sunday. But Mortifys has done fantastic for his team. His stats are a little wonky right now because he has to step into a position and basically play the tip of the spear, because you don't have a lot of time to transition your troops around this player. You're going to put him right in the front and say, hey, look, Morty, you're going to have to go out there and you have to get a lot of kills. That kind of accounts for that minus 41. And that low percentage of team kills. But that's also because those team kills have really built up over however many weeks it was prior to Mortifys joining the squad, but still has an over 60% team success or team engagement success.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. You know, it's a little skewed, small sample size. So to me, when I'm rating Morty, looking at Morty to figure out what he brings to the squad, I go off the history from the player. He's really played with the best of them. He's been in the grand finals before, along with some of his teammates. But you know me, Colin, I don't like to go in head first. I like to look at the picks and bans a little bit. I like to think about my predictions. And there you have it. Vasgar, Training Grounds, and Harbor. And I like to pick my brain, but I like to pick yours. What do we got laid out for us?
Well, I think eUnited, their bread and butter has kind of become Vasgar. We see how good they are on that map. They get a lot of reps on it. They are fantastic at it. The thing that worries me, that Noble, as good as they are at Training Grounds, we have seen eUnited absolutely torture people on that map, especially with a guy like Powerz. He has probably broken some Geneva Convention rules and regulations set forth on the entire earth when that man gets a gun like a Boltok in his hand and what he's been able to do in home-to-home stretches. So I'm really worried about these early maps for Noble. If it goes all the way to Harbor, Noble has a chance, because we've seen Mortifys in that mid-winch fight has been very proficient at getting some of those early kills. So that might put them in a position to win that map 3. But Noble, to me, has a complete uphill battle from start to finish. And especially if you're thinking about going forth in this matchup against a team like eUnited, who stumbles last night and needs to come out here tonight and reassert some dominance. So PR, we're going to head over to the prediction side of this matchup. We're going to start talking about who we are thinking is going to win this one. And I told you I was going to put you on the spot later on in the night. So hit me with it, baby.
For this one, I think I'm ready. You know, I like the way Noble has shown progression since Mortifys being on the roster. You have the chemistry, you have the foundation built. I think you hit the nail on the head. Almost. You know, they have an uphill battle, but let's throw a slip and slide on that one. Let's soap it up. Let's lather it up. They're going to be slipping on their way up that hill. And honestly, Colin, I don't think they're going to make it very far. I think eUnited is going to crush this series, and they're going to take full advantage of this being a sort of a new roster.
Crush this series. That man.
There goes half the roster.
Oh, God. gonna hit him with the Thanos snap. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, PR. This morning I woke up and I went through my normal routine of trying to figure out who I'm gonna get to pick. And people have heard my wacky and wild, easy way to pick them. They even might have heard a little slip up on my half about some, obligations I gotta make. But in all seriousness, the only thing that is going to be looking better than eUnited in this matchup is that brand new eUnited Eagle collection they dropped a few weeks ago. I believe I seen some people on Twitter start posting those, but I ain't getting paid nothing for them, boys.
Get paid?
I know I picked me up some of that merch. I hope I look half decent in it, but eUnited, they're taking this over Noble. And I don't want to say easy, but if Powerz got to wake up early, he's going to have an early night. I'm going to go ahead and say it. My man's going to get the beauty sleep he needs because I don't think he's going to have to stay up late having nightmares about this one.
Yep. And I think it mainly, I got to agree with as the chat, getting your final predictions in. I think it mainly comes in with how fast we know eUnited can play, mix it with how bad Noble has been playing. You mix in Mortifys coming in. I think there's too many different factors going against this Noble squad that no matter if it's an easy game, a long game, 3 versus 1 with all the predictions, I think this is going to be a real test for this Noble roster because we talked about Rise having to control their destiny. I don't think Noble has the same luxury. This is 100% a must win, and they have to root for the downfall of all their opponents.
eUnited stands tall with us, and we are pick 'em all on the same side yet again. There it is, Noble versus eUnited. About to load up on Vasgar. Morty Lava is going to have to make some magic happen and harken back to the days when they took out an NRG squad that did feature Xplosive and Praized, but they got 2 bad Mamma Jammas on that squad now in the form of Kenny Bounce and Powerz. And we see Mortifys try to get into that V-Hill. Gearries over there on that cubby corner, trying to hold court, trying to hold off. Hits the left-hand brick. He is full red, and here comes Mortifys trying to go in with the up A. He finds one. The answer back on the down from Praized, but won't be able to find either of those kills, and already Noble with an early advantage in this one. Xysho will go down. Lava's trying to answer back as Powerz and Kenny are going for their 2v2 victory over here. Wrap shots from Kenny, won't be able to find it down on Lava just yet.
Yep, I love that opening strategy coming through. Morty was in the hill. He's making them think that there wasn't that necessary help, but in a blink of an eye, he abandons the objective to go for those 2 quick kills. So even though eUnited did a good job of chasing on over the home hill of Noble, they're keeping themselves in this game, keeping the score respectable by controlling that neutral from the start of this one. Morty goes down. Xysho doing what he can. There goes an elimination, but the fun stops eventually as Xplosive shuts him down and getting that hill. So now there's no points of going for Noble. In fact, it's a triple cap domination sounding off. Kenny taking the brunt of that damage, trying to bait and switch with his teammates. Lava goes down. Gearries falls as well. I do think the triple cap domination is going to be successful as long as they solidify this elimination onto Xysho. And just like that, round number 1 is in the books. 1:22 as eUnited take it all the way.
I want to go ahead and say it right there at the end. Xysho bouncing back and forth was making me laugh a little bit because the horizontal bounce looked nice. It was doing a fantastic job. I got it down onto Kenny. And then all of a sudden, I realized, I said, he is not going forward. He's not, he's not making it to the hill, my man. There's a hill a few feet in front of you, and you're not, all right, okay. And then he gets chunked, and I'm like, it was pretty. It looked good. It'll look good in a montage sometime.
It looked good. That's what I think. When I'm watching some of these players in my quick matches in my ranked game, they're just bouncing around. I'm just sitting there looking at them like, yeah, crack. Well, it's your fault for not moving. You're bouncing so fast, you're not moving at all. And now we got eUnited taking a page out of the Noble playbook, starting with aggression. Praized takes out one, goes for the second one, and this is where they begin to stagger those deaths. Look at Praized realizing I can't run through the spawn because of that first elimination. If I run through at the worst time, I'm going to get spawned behind by Gearries and take it out. So all those efforts will come for nothing.
Now we see the shots out from Lava over the top. Kenny's going to have to come off a respawn. 3 players stacked up right here. But Kenny gets the call out that it's going to be a 2-2 split. So now we're going to have 2 V2s on the matchup. Kenny's going to actually bounce around and try to find where he needs to go. And Mortifys a little red, sits back down. This is going to be very precarious because once again, Noble has to play into the hands. They finally push into that hill, trying to force the move from eUnited. Boltok shots from Powerz out. Not gonna be able to it checks him. It's a body check, my man. Oh my, one more. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. PR, you heard the one more.
Oh, they didn't learn that lesson. They got backed off the hill once, and Morty's like, you know what? Let me try this again. And Powerz is like, yes, give me another opportunity. See what happens. And downtown, Xplosive takes out Lava. He's just trying to solidify the positioning, knowing that even if they get this positioning out from him, they have to attack the hill next. Praized taking a lot of damage. He did have Kenny's help, but the physicality, being there one another is going to be the key. But Gearries takes out or gets taken out by Kenny. Xysho doing what he can. They're trying to use their numbers to their advantage, but Xplosive almost taking out Xysho. And this is where you stagger the deaths and you try to chip away at that massive, and I mean massive lead that United has built.
Now Powerz bounces back. He's going to be here with Praized. 3v2 stacked up on this side of the map. And look at this. Xysho might actually be trying to rotate all the way over to help out his teammate. He's going to go for this flank. I don't think Xplosive knows that he's there, so he has the perfect 90-degree angle to be able to flank out and Lancer out everybody and anyone. So Noble is here. They're going to be able to get this decap on A here momentarily. Powerz gets one back A off, slides across, gets the one-shot chunk, and now he goes for the body shot. Won't be able to get that kill. Xplosive has the decap at B. He's going to rotate over there. He's going to try to finish this off. Gearries is going to try to push over here. They still have the win condition. They have to get over to the B hill now. Xplosive plays at Gearries as he comes off that cover, and the wrap doesn't get any damage on him whatsoever. And now they're going to hold court here. The jump from Mortys will get him toward the B hill, but once again, he stays outside. He tries to stay at the 90-degree. He goes down, and eUnited. They are swapping out hills and kills, and they are coming away with a 2-0 round count here, map number 1.
United doing a good job of realizing their win condition, not over the overall big picture of the entire match, but each individual round, each individual fight as well. Even though some of the players are getting taken out, trying to put the shotgun shots, the damage necessary, overall, they're winning the exchanges. They're staggering the deaths and always keeping themselves one step ahead of this Noble squad. You saw it, Morty and Lavas, they tried to go for that decap. It didn't work the first time. For some reason, Morty thought it was a good idea to challenge Powerz again, and right now, Powerz is eating. I don't know if he died, but I know at one point in that matchup, he was 5-0.
See the Boltok hovered over by Gearries. Retro Lancers out for both sides. I'll be curious to see if they put it into the hands, of Powerz, or if they just say, hey, look, Xplosive is just too damn good with that thing. Let's put it back in his hands. You can see everybody rolling out of spawn. It will be Xplosive that picks it up. So the Boltok power taken away from Powerz momentarily. They're rotating over to this B hill. Looks like 2 players are going to try to play defense here against 3 of Noble. 1 down already, 2 down already. Stop challenging Xplosive's Retro, and by God almighty, get into the area to help your teammate out. 2 dead, 4v2 on the map. Xysho is up here at the top of the hill. He sees Lava's down. He's gonna go for this revive, and he gets it off. Now you see everybody going for this triple cap domination. 4 players from Noble will be in the area. Flashes out. Xysho, Retro in hand. We'll get the down onto Kenny. Pulls out the shotgun. They get a second. This could be a reverse team wipe. Powerz only gets 1. Only trades out a singular kill in that matchup. And Praized is gonna back all the way up over to B.
Praized, I was gonna say Praized. Powerz, he just can't be stopped right now. He's a well-oiled machine all on his own, striking fear in players. But right now, Noble's trying to keep this hill neutralized as much as possible. That's going to be the home hill of eUnited, but flash grenades coming towards the outside. No moves being made. They actually use those flashes to try to backtrack. They know that the other team is kind of playing a tug-of-war, a teeter-totter of swords. They're pushing forward, and so these players are backing out to solidify that neutral and B, give themselves a better position, which includes a little bit of high ground. And there goes Xplosive, trying to be as sneaky as possible, getting that damage down along with the Powerz Lancer fire, and they're picking them up on the other side of that. Meanwhile, Mortys for Noble, they pick up that fight. So that's going to be a good trade in fights going through, and the hill is going to be rewarded to Noble. But like I said, not without sacrifice. That fight won them over in their own side of the map. So United just reclaiming what theirs.
Exactly. They got the 2-1 hill advantage. Powerz with the pistol in hand. A lot of snub shots out, being able to put pressure onto Gearries, who was trying to make it into the B hill first. And now you can see them bouncing around. Gearries will go down for the 90-degree. Powerz moves in. Easy one-shot kill there, as he was already down. Mortifys playing the back A position. Kenny moves up immediately there, ready for that revive. Now Mortifys goes for the pressure onto Praized, but that is one man with a brick always waiting in his Nasher to put you downtown. And you see Xplosive up top getting shots on his Xysho. The rotation comes out. Praized finds himself a second. Here comes Gearries off a respawn. He's going to get the kill there on Xplosive. Goes to the back A on a Praized. Praized full red. Goes to the up A. He's not going to get at that. Powerz will go down as well. And once again, this is going to be another retake by eUnited. As you can see, Kenny's just trying to hold Lava off, and he has some help from the left.
I was scratching my head. Lava, you got to think of something, but that definitely was not the play. Going into enemy territory, trying to take a 1v1 Lancer battle, especially knowing you did get some eliminations. Those players will spawn up. So a big mistake coming out from Lava, but a big fight won by Mortifys. But the numbers are there for eUnited. They go ahead and continue to stagger the deaths. They get the decap, knowing that they can win off of one. They're not forcing any of these plays. They're just getting what is earned. As you see them with the meat shield Praized, trying to get as much of that capture as possible, knowing I'm not going to get the elimination, but now with the points being gained, 2 hills to 1, you're going to force these players of Noble to get aggressive.
See Mortifys trying to come around, get that wrap shot off. He's not going to be able to find it. Kenny rotating all the way around, just running away and saving his life. He's playing back. Mortifys is going to go for the decap at that C hill. He gets the easy kill there on the Lava. With that shutdown and with a 2v1 at B, unless I believe Xysho goes absolutely massive, but it's never in time in this situation. 3-0 eUnited. They're looking to finish this off quickly and make quick work of Noble, as they are 2 rounds away from a 1-0 map count lead. And right now, everybody from the side of Noble is struggling just to really get on a roll, get something going for themselves. It seems like they get 1 kill here, maybe a kill there, but they're clawing and scratching and scrounging for every single inch.
Looking like Bambi the first time in the movie, you know, scared to walk, can't walk, doesn't know what's going on.
They looking like and Bambi's mom.
This is exactly what I thought I was going to see. This is why I thought I was scared of this matchup right now, Colin, because you got a team in Noble. They're not the worst team in the league. They at least have a victory, but they're relearning themselves, relearning the play style. Then you have a team like eUnited, barring yesterday's defeat, that are pulling themselves away from the rest of the competition. They strike hot and they strike fast. So if you're not prepared for them, the match will be over before you know it. It's already 3-0, and before I even finish the opening statement, there's 2 hills under their control.
eUnited gets that quick cap off. You can see the 1 kill comes out already for Powerz on the opposite side of the map, solidifying it out. Xysho's now down. Kenny's going to push up, try to get that extra Lancer angle onto Gearries. He's going to go down. Both of those kills come through. Powerz now in a 1v1 against Mortifys, and Powerz is playing out in the open, really. Mortifys had the ability to play up on that, play out against his opponent, but he doesn't get the down. He gets crossed out. That hill doesn't even get decapped. I believe Gearries is still bleeding out in the B hill, so he will finally get cleaned up after decapping the B. Praized will roll back into it. I believe Kenny is there playing the front line of defense for his squad. Multiple players from eUnited have gotten the decap over at C meanwhile, and you can see Noble can't get their footing. They can't really go anywhere before eUnited either shuts them down or gets a kill and makes them readjust their situation.
Oh, look at Xplosive just hiding, waiting for that moment to strike. But fortunately, 3v1 was not the odds you want to go up against, and there goes another elimination. Gearries finding Powerz late into this one. These are much needed rotations to be made. They picked up some big eliminations, but can eUnited even it up? Kenny figures out a way to get behind enemy lines, and he has that escape route right to his right, so where he could get out alive, rotate around the center of the map, and reunite with some of his teammates.
See Mortifys inside that C, going for the decap, will get it. That is their own home hill. They will finally get that back, but down by 90 points or so. This is still eUnited's round whatsoever, and right now Noble is just limping through these rounds, limping toward the finish line of these rounds, down under 30 seconds. Xplosive playing all the way back in the corner, just crab walking back and forth, not giving anybody a sight line. Flashbang out, easy Lancer angle. He's gonna have 1 down here momentarily. That was perfect accuracy from him, just about to be able to put all that damage out. Double shot downs from both Powerz and Xplosive, bouncing around. And hey, real quick, while this round counts down and we got a bunch of kills, do y'all mind if we go back over to Xplosive for a hot second after this fight breaks through?
I just feel bad right now for Noble. I just feel bad because they're just going in one by one. It doesn't even look like they're picking fights that they want. It looks like they're getting into match. They're getting into the match. They're picking certain positions on the map that are semi-power positions, but then they're just taking whatever fight it is right in front of them. And those are the fights eUnited wants. You can see it time and time again. There's a player that starts a fight, distracts them, pulls them in, and then out of nowhere, they get blindsided by a lance. They get blindsided by big shotgun fights. eUnited just baiting them in like fish right now. They're just setting out their bait, and they're just being patient, waiting for a bite, and just go ahead and reel it in, catch that fish, and we're not throwing them back in the water. We're going to go ahead and cook these up and have some dinner tonight.
Yeah, they're looking almost as good as Crook Spring at 92.53 with the subscription with Prime. Over for UMG in the chat, baby. I love it. Love it. And as we come to the start of the next round, we're going to see everybody roll out of spawn. Looks like Kenny will be picking up the shock for his team. Xplosive is going to be up top, just surveying the area. And real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Xplosive and all the people a part of the Coalition Army, as that's the Lancer he's got right now. It's a Coalition Army recruit Lancer. You make content for Gears 5 and you make good content. You try to get the word out, sing the gospel of Gears. You get a chance to get one of those very prestigious Lancers to rock on your back and Xplosive. Also doing a fantastic job with that Boltok, getting that down, finishing that off. Is Noble just wolf-packing with 3 players? They went straight from their home to eUnited's home, and now I think they're going to go from here to F.
Hey, if you could run like a well-oiled machine and find the eliminations and stagger the deaths, it could work out for you. And then eventually, if you figure out a way to funnel these players in, that one solo player that's kind of wandering around could be the thorn in the side from far away with the Lancer, can be a big flank opportunity with the shotgun, because when you're running a 3 for so long, you forget about it. But there goes your 3. You make it down to 2. Xysho gets headshot, and Lava gets taken out as well. As Noble, right before our eyes, is just crumbling. Morty slips up. Gearries tries to be a hero, ends up the 0. 4 players dead on the side of Noble. Triple cap domination sounding off. Xysho should get the touch, especially with that reset coming through from Lava. But how much does it really get you?
APR. The only thing with a sadder ending to this map 1 right now is the Fox and the Hound, man. That's the only thing from Disney that has a sadder ending than this map 1.
You wouldn't say Avengers? I think that ended sad.
Which one?
I lost my movie, the final Avengers. What do you mean? I don't want to spoil, but like I feel like I can. It's been so long.
You have the power, do it.
eUnited is looking like the Avengers right now. Tony Stark died, bro. It's my favorite Avenger.
Yo,
that's the saddest movie, the saddest ending.
R.I.P. Hey, look, you never know. They could still pay Robert Downey Jr. a cool $50 million to show up in a later movie. I'm going to go ahead and say it. That man, I'm sure, will do it for the $50 million. Already up to the 200-point threshold, 2-1 hill advantage. Gearries is going to get inside of the home hill of Noble. He's actually going to be working on his own home hill. And you see right now, 2 members coming off a spawn. Yo! What?
This is only map 1, Colin. This is only map number 1.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with people at you. There's a huge difference.
I just feel bad. I feel bad right now. There's no hope in this last. Nobody close enough to either one of these hills. Gearries can maybe touch 1, but it's not going to be enough. eUnited cruise to a 5-0 victory. I said it wasn't going to be close. I said there was going to be crushing involved, and eUnited crushed the opposition.
Look at it. I mean, he's even got time to juggle knives. My man Xplosive realized how Kenny had 5 kills and 16 assists. That's amazing. eUnited finish off map number 1 in style, and they were fantastic in their entire march from start to finish in that triumph over Noble. And now we go to map 2, which is Noble's map pick, so we're expecting a much better map out of them. We go to training grounds. They've got to be able to do better there. I don't know how long our replay highlight reel is, but I can guarantee you it's pretty much
who gets one? Come on, Noble. Somebody from Noble.
Yeah,
there we go. Somebody from Noble has to get a highlight here in this one. It is going to be Gearries, but man, that just shows the dominance that eUnited has been able to pull away from these lower echelon teams, these teams that are fighting for their relegation live. And like I said, this is going to be scary. There's numerous reasons why I thought this was going to be scary, but honestly, instead of let me list those for you, just watch these replays. You don't have to watch long. They're almost over.
Praized, there was the light speed kill by Praized, by the way, that back A, but there it is, as you can see. 5-0, 1-0. like unbelievable, bro. Like I'm trying to, as somebody who is filled with nothing but hot air and stupidity, even I do not have the hot air and the stupidity to deal with what I just witnessed. Look, all I know is that there's some people in chat who are a little upset with you for spoiling.
I didn't spoil nothing. Y'all had so long to watch that movie. Come on. And then you have WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out. If you guys did
coming
not
out,
see that
season
ending,
1's already over with.
Yeah, whatever. They're already coming out. I'm in the middle of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Don't spoil it for me.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yo, P, are you getting flustered? Are you getting flustered?
Yeah, I am. Y'all calling me. I'm closing down chat. I'm not getting no spoilers to turn back. Now I'm just scared. That's why. Because now I'm not even scared for Noble. I'm scared for the spoilers. I'm in the middle of it, Colin. I need this. I'm a Marvel fan.
All right, well, I won't spoil anything for you whatsoever. I'll just tell you that it was an amazing season 1. I like how you covered your ears over that.
Oh, but
my God.
Let's get back into this game, though, because, like, obviously you can see everything that United is doing, right? From the individual plays off of the initial, where they're positioning themselves, where they're able to take the fight, stagger the deaths, when not to stagger the deaths. On the side of Noble, though, a lot of their mistakes are coming from what looks like not being on the same page. They go in from an initial, and then from there, they might lose that initial, and those players that spawn up, they don't stop the bleeding. They don't turtle back. They just continue to go in one after the next, And you know, a team like eUnited, if you get your death staggered, they're going to be moving fast. Did you see Powerz in that one? You might as rename him to Barry Allen because he is the Flash right now.
Are you going to go Barry Allen, not Wally West? I mean, come on now. Which Flash were you preferring? It's fine. It's whatever.
I like the original. You know, I'm Marvel, I'm DC. I just like the comics, man. And Powerz, they're the Avengers, they're the Justice League, they're everything you want them to be.
And at times when I'm being the biggest idiot I can be, we're part of the Legion of Doom, baby. You know how it goes. Okay. But here we go. I know map 2 is going to be starting up here very shortly. And PR, I'm looking at you. You just talked about a little bit the things that Noble was doing wrong. What is something that Noble can do right at this point?
Honestly, they really need to set up in their teamwork aspect. Like I said, a lot of the times, especially when they lose that initial, they're getting their death stagger. They need to figure out a way to at least turtle 2 members, 3 members alive while you wait for that player to spawn up. Get the information necessary because United, everybody has this set up and you need to figure out where that hole is. And you need to know that United is a team that will strike quick. Because if you realize you're taking too long to think of a play, you have to be ready on the back end to say, hey, we're taking too long right now. United's going to have a trick up their sleeve. Nothing should surprise you at this point. You have to be ready individually and as a full unit. And if things aren't necessarily going your way, you have to put that big weapon down. On a map like Training Grounds, I think that big weapon going down is going to help you a little bit better than on a map like Vasgar because of all the alleyways, the rotations. You put a big weapon down towards you, there's one way in, there's one way out for both of these teams. You're going to see everybody. You're going to spot at everybody. The only thing that will really make you lose sight of any of these players is a well-placed smoke grenade.
And do you think there's a chance or possibility early, or do you think we're still going to see teams? Because I know a lot of teams on this map, no matter what happens, they will always wait until they can place the shock before putting a power weapon at you. Do you see it coming out earlier than that, or do you think there's no chance? You think both teams will wait for their shocks to be up at least, and then they might put a power weapon down at you, even if it means you go down 3-0 to eUnited, and then you have to win 5 out of the next 7 rounds?
I don't think you put yourself in a 3-0 hole to eUnited, because I think that same feeling of back when, Gears of War 4, this is a team when you're going up against them, you have to come out hot, you have to come out early, because they are one of the best teams of climbing themselves out of a hole. So just because you gain that lead doesn't necessarily guarantee you success. So for a team like Noble, like I said, you got to come out firing hot. So that means if you go down early, depending on the fashion, you get wiped 30 seconds, you get wiped 50 seconds. You put that big weapon down. You put it all or nothing on the next hand. So that way you don't leave anything up for United to think of bigger strategy, deeper depth, have a trick up their sleeve. Use that shock grenade to trap you off. You need to strike hot. You need to strike fast. Otherwise, like you said, you're going to be down 3-0. You're not going to have an answer. And then we're going to have a 10-0 map victory or series victory for United before you know it.
Well, we're going to have to see if Noble can find any rounds whatsoever in this next map, because it is their map pick. They need to bounce back in this one if they want to take it to that harbor map number 3, or if eUnited is going to continue their steamroll, because they were not slowing down whatsoever in this matchup, and they go to training grounds now, which we have seen them be very fantastic on in the past. I don't believe we're going to see many mistakes out of them once again, but if any team can kind of set up, get that initial, and then really choke out eUnited, stop them from being able to make long-range plays, it is going to be a team like Noble, and I think they're going to have to hang their hats on some early picks, maybe out of Mortifys, maybe even get him to get loose early on to try to get 1 or 2 kills, but it's going to be very hard sledding for them, very tough sledding in this map number 2. Everybody I know is excited to see it get going. And as we go through the fly-through, we all know how this one breaks down the House of Sovereigns after it's been destroyed, after so many years of war, battle, and the sinking of Jacinto there in Gears 2. The rebuilding here of New Afira just outside of it. DBs getting ready to be deployed to help build up the structures. And everybody else rolling out of spawn to get ready to wage one more war here on Training Grounds.
This is where both these teams, they're playing into their sides initially, with Noble trying to go up top, but eUnited just pushing straight into them. That aggression looking real, and that's what you got to do if you want to continue to set the tone for eUnited. Unfortunately, it's not working out for them. The initial is won by Noble, multiple deaths being staggered. This is where you got to go to ditch the home mill to home mill strategy there. You realize the staggering deaths are going to come through, but you need to figure out a way to get this neutral. You're set up top, no damage being put out on Praized, and look how long it's taken Noble. What is going on?
I'm not exactly sure. They just slow to the punch, really. Powerz, he sees that they're getting the decap to his right. He waits
Finally,
for anybody to get the call out, but there's the home-to-home stretch. 3 players from eUnited mounted up there toward the B-hill. I'm surprised they're not overextending just yet. Mortifys will be able to wait in that cubby corner for a little bit of safety, but it is a 2-1-1 basically, because one player in the overlook, it's going to take forever and a day for him to be able to get anywhere. Xplosive is trying to get across the map, throws out a flash there, is going to try to go for the hop-up. He knows he's got the stun on Lava, and Lava gets 2 shot down, and that over-rotation from eUnited could open this thing wide up.
He's been a big distraction on the back end, taking out Morty. Shots from above. No, I was about to say, there's no way that's possible, right, Colin? There's no way. I've seen some crazy stuff, but I don't know. Gearries, though, doing a good job of not even letting it be a possibility. When you fight one, you need to fight the other team of perfection, and that's going to be a big momentum shift. Gearries taking out the team that completed perfection last season. Now going for the break on the neutral. It's going to come through, and the score is rather close. They can come back from this. They can get the lead still and force the pressure onto eUnited.
eUnited now, getting their own home back. Praized is here by himself. The flash goes off. Back down to Lava, won't be able to get anything just yet. Trying to get a 2-shot down or maybe even a chunk. Praized tries to slide in and get that meat shield, but won't be able to. Still only 1 hill in the favor of the Noble. They're going to get that second hill here momentarily. Kenny sliding up to the top of the overlook, finding Mortifys inside of the God spot, calls him out, gets the mark on him as well. Xplosive is here with Kenny. They might try to pressure up onto Lava, flash out. Xplosive rolling over to this back cover. See multiple members of Noble now pushing into the area. Great shot around that corner, and now here comes the flash and the answer back. No real stuns coming through. Breaks coming through across the map, though, as B will start to go back in favor of eUnited. Gearries is full red, and they get the double shot down. They win the fight at the home hill, and it is a 2v1 over here. Now it's a 1v1 after the pistol from, I believe that, oh my God, what a kill. That pistol from Powerz just too strong. That last kill, 6 rounds in a row, PR, eUnited's pick up right where they left off.
Yeah, in some of these situations, I feel like eUnited has a 5th man again. I feel like they're playing 5v4, and it was almost perfect the way they set that one up. They overextended 2 players towards the top half of the map. They noticed multiple members make it 3 exactly from Noble, kind of backtracked to try and defend that hill, and they took their time. They didn't force it on the home mill, and with that distraction, they 2v1 the bottom half of the map. They sacrificed 1 for 1, and it got that second guy weak, and you saw the rotation come over. After they solidified the home hill fight, 1 player rotated through the middle and solidified that neutral fight as well. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're always 1, 2, maybe even 3 steps ahead of the competition in this series.
We come to the second round. You see everybody coming out. Bold talks out for both squads as well, and that's one of the things a couple rounds ago we got to see Powerz with perfect precision as well as Xplosive. Everybody slides into this U. It looks like they're going to stack up, and it looks like Noble might be trying to go for this overextension right here at the bottom side, trying to get pressure onto Xplosive. But holding court is eUnited. Nobody's able to move anywhere, and I believe I believe if you are eUnited, you might be able to pressure on to Lava. Unless Lava's playing on the bottom, you won't be able to hit him to allow Praized to get into the 1v1, and he is indeed playing on the bottom. So it's going to be up to who makes the first mistake here. As Splash will come out, here comes Xplosive trying to rotate around, throws his own flash. They can push Gearries out of this position. A lot of utility being used. The wrap comes out, but it won't be enough. And now Mortifys finds two, and that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame. Mortifys has to pop off if they want to have a chance to win these rounds. Powerz goes to the bottom middle of the map. Calls out onto Xysho, gets the mark and a few shots on, but gets called out, and there is a kill for Gearries in this round.
Some big eliminations here. Noble has the differential, going for a trip gap domination as well. Praized is stuck in no man's land. I'm not sure the possibility of him getting a touch, but the round will be prolonged for just a few short moments as Praized and Kenny both fall. Powerz doing what he can. He take a big shot. He goes down as well. And I think that from Mortify is going to be the final nail in the coffin. And Noble are finally on the board. You know what they say, Colin? The first one's always the hardest.
And now I think that's one of those situations, though. Mortifys, I believe, in that round by himself got 4, maybe 5 kills.
And he started off with 2 quick ones.
Yeah, 2 quick ones, and then he had 2 there at the end. So I'm not sure if he got a 5th in the middle of the map, but I definitely know he got at least 4 in that round. So that is exactly the kind of thing that we said they would have to get going for them, especially Mortifys. Now we come to round number 3. Retro Lancers out for both squads, and that's definitely going to make a big difference because, as we've seen a couple of times, Xplosive has been able to hold down an entire side of the map with everything but the Retro. Flash out on a lot of Lava.
Fear.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, he just puts a lot of fear in a lot of his competition. I don't know how Praized got down early. Must have been hopping over a cover or 2. But you can see the focus that eUnited has to start off this round. They're sending 3 players down low. The thing that goes wrong with this strategy is they need to overextend towards that alleyway. Powerz is positioned there, but this is where Noble has to know. They're not going to be able to get away with a free capture, especially since you have Gearries up top. So their goal right now is to funnel you off your side. Noble has to be prepared because it's only a matter of time whether they do it now, wait 30 seconds, and attack from there. That is the play for United.
Still waiting in the wings. Nobody's able to push up just yet. They're not able to get on this hill. Powerz is going to continue to get hit, like pegged here. One pellet, full red. He's going to go down. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. There's nowhere for him to go.
I read chat for a moment. He says Xysho is allergic to the shotgun. He uses the Lantern pistol up close, and then we see Xysho crossing with his shotgun from above, and it works out perfectly. He's getting just enough damage to keep Powerz weak, and they use their teamwork. So now that's going to be a differential on the hill. That neutral capture is going to put Noble one step ahead in the point category and put the pressure on towards eUnited, knowing that they're going to have to make a move sooner rather than later. A big back eight coming out from He got the double down, Colin. He got the kill and the down on Praized.
Huge, absolutely massive, and that's going to give Noble yet again another 2-to-1 hill advantage in this situation. Lava up top now, answering on to Xplosive, and eUnited's going to have to sit down for a moment. They got to figure out where they go with this next push, as Xplosive is going to push up. He's been marked, but again, they know where he is. As you said and called out so eloquently earlier, PR, when you mark your opponents, they can't go anywhere. There's nowhere for them to hide, nowhere for them to run. You get the call out, you can figure out where the weak point of the defense or offense is, or where somebody's rotating, and you make life that much harder. You see Powerz actually getting the hell out of dodge as he gets the call out that I believe he was all by himself. I know one player is there in the area. That's going to be Kenny to go for the quick pickup. Powerz is now going to have to take this fight against Gearries, who is trying to pressure up that top set of stairs. And he's going to rotate out. Praized goes down yet again. And this is another situation where it looks like Noble should be able to come away with this round.
Yep, and you can already see players are backtracking. They're doing all this, these 2 hills, and not one of them is their own home. And now the backtrack's going to come through. Xplosive has to be a hero. They have somebody near every one of these hills, though, Colin. This is definitely doable for eUnited. We've seen them in this position before. One decap's going to come through on this side of the map. Just a few seconds here. Kenny's going to get in the hill. Decap opportunity is there. His teammate's going to finish the decap. No Hill's getting points for Noble at the ending portion of this one. But with those eliminations, Kenny and Xplosive both going down. Noble, the first time in this series, will have the lead.
Beautiful job there by Noble. Back-to-back rounds. It took him a full 3 minutes to get it to solidify, but Doesn't matter if it takes 1 minute or 1 hour. If they can get a map under their belt, they can take this to a map number 3. And I mean, there's an old saying in golf, which I'm sure Noble are living by right now. There ain't no pictures on a scorecard. It don't matter how you got there. At the end of the day, if you write down 5 rounds in the win column for your squad, you're just happy to get that number. You don't care how you had to get it.
Oh, you see the shot grenades, and this is where you can kind of set it. Like, if Noble was down 3-0, we would have definitely seen a big weapon come down. But with the United having all the comeback potential, they don't have to falter from their plan, whether if they're winning or they're losing. They don't have to put it all in for that big weapon to go down because they know they can come back. See, this is where the strategy is going to switch up, and both teams now playing into their good side, into their bad side. One team going up top, one team going down low. And this is where it turns into a little bit of a slow chess match. Lots of utilities going to be used, Lancer Fire being drawn out, shot grenades as well, until one team gets the upper hand, whether if it's damage or an early down.
You see Powerz trying to play up. He's very dangerous in these situations. A lot of damage out, 2 shot down, but he doesn't get the next one. He's not going to find either of those kills. Mortifys will find 2, though. Now it is a 2v3 on the map. Kenny has to stay alive. He's rotating out, trying to get over toward where Lava is, but Lava staying back behind those ledges. He's keeping himself alive, and I think Kenny might have actually gotten off of Mark. So I don't know if anybody knows that Kenny is behind these 2 players at their home hill, and he's going to start to Lancer out onto Mortifys, and Gearries is going to be left here against Xplosive. Full red, Gearries might go down here momentarily, but they're there for the quick revive out. Xplosive needs to find one of these in a trade, and he does so. This is beautiful teamwork by Noble on this map.
I was gonna say, that was a big trade from Xplosive. They've been Praized in a 1v1 because you're going to spawn back up. You're going to be there, but Praized needed to figure out a way to kind of stay alive, but you already see the retreat coming through. Gearries knows that United's next target is going to be that home hill. So you backtrack out, you get these people wandering around the middle of the map and try to get that neutral hill. So picture perfect plays being made from this Noble squad. It's just, can they catch out these players rotating? Morty definitely got caught slipping there. Where were the reinforcements? They were on the other side of the map.
Now you see the downs come out. The quick revive out from Praized will help eUnited get that B-Hill back in their favor. Xysho is rotated all the way over for the home-to-home stretch once again. He has a teammate with him. It's going to be Lava, so 2 players from Noble are in the area. Now they're going to get angled out a little bit. Here comes the revive. Splashes out. Stuns for both squads. Lava will get revived. Good job there. Powerz trying to push up into the area and force out this player. That's going to be Xysho getting that 1 kill. That trade out is huge for Noble going forward, if you ask me. Kenny will get the meat shield and the cleanup of the snub, and now Praized is trying to play back, trying to get this kill, and he does come away with it. And he's alive long enough to see the misroll from Gearries and get a second, and that puts eUnited in the driver's seat to tie it up 2-2 going into the second half.
I feel like you slow down that Praized kill, the first one, you can feel the calculation. You can see the thought process in his shots, in his target selection. That shot grenade, they're going to get the decap, going for a triple cap domination, trying to get it with the damage mitigation. So close as Praized, narrowly staying alive just long enough to make it happen. The reset's going to come through, but Noble, you have no time to waste. You have to go forward. You have to figure out these eliminations, and you can't let anybody slip by. Powerz hiding, gets the kill onto Gearries. That's a massive kill this late in the game. An even bigger one coming through from Xplosive. With Morty's going down, Xysho finding himself in a nightmare. eUnited will tie this series up at the half, 2 rounds apiece.
That's a beautiful job by eUnited to answer back. We go to the second half now. We're going to get to see how the weapon placements will go, as that mid-neutral hill will switch down over to that U fight, and the home hills will be up top in those 2 heaven spots. So Xplosive hovering over the overlook. I believe they're just going to go to the King Raven, start their secondary weapon tree. I assume we're going to see the same thing out of Noble, because I think Noble's probably feeling themselves a little bit. They're probably a little confident because they have won 2 rounds, which is technically infinitely times better than the 0 rounds they won in the first map.
Yeah. It's an infinitely better. They have a 2.0 success rate here, more than they did before. But when do you think that big weapon's going to go down? Do you think it's going to be at all? I know that's something we talked about early on. I didn't think it was going to go down if it was evenly matched, because like I said, eUnited, they have all the utmost confidence in themselves to not need something like that to be a difference maker. Noble, on the other hand, I think they're feeling themselves in this map.
Now we see Gearries try to push up, shot onto Powerz, second shot out. They almost get that down, but not enough. They are full red, flashes out. Now Xplosive pushes up with confidence after the first and second down. There's actually 3 players down up there, I believe. I think 3 players are down and dead for Noble, and Xysho is all by his lonesome. Nobody is there to help. eUnited will be on their home hill already. And while Noble will be coming off of respawn, I don't believe you can make it there in time coming through the backside. That's going to be it. That's going to be 3-2 eUnited. As soon as you can flash dash, you blink, find out you're down yet another round.
Pairing together, 2 in a row. A momentum shift. I don't want to say it's too soon, especially with how first that initial was won. Noble didn't get a chance to answer back. I don't want to say it's too soon to see the momentum shift, but man, eUnited taking that round by storm. And this is where you can kind of think the retro is going to go back down to the bottom. No big weapon being down just yet, but this is where Noble, these chances for that big weapon, they're going out the window, because if you place that big weapon too late, you know eUnited is going to use their block, so not much is going to change. So the longer it takes you to throw it out, the less chance it's actually going to work.
Here we go, Retros and Shocks out for both squads. eUnited 2 rounds away from getting a 2-0 victory over Noble. Everybody rolling out of spawn, and it looks like both teams will pick up their shock here in the early goings. eUnited with 3 downs to their benefit here in the top overlook area. The early flash comes out. Gearries pushes up. He's going to get shot on, but not get taken down. The flash will be behind him, preventing him from retreating in this situation. And once again, eUnited picture-perfect kills. They clean away too. Lava's full red. He's down. If I am Praized, I'm just going to the home hill. I'm finding my way over to D. And you can see them in the E hill finishing this cap off. Xysho has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. 2 players already back up. So this will be extended a little bit. There will be a little bit of an elongation to this round. Powerz is still alive in this fight. He's in a 2v1 now. Gets 1 shot over the back shoulder shot. Still fighting, still staying alive. This is one of, if you give up, I was going to say, do not give up a kill to Powerz. Don't do that
in that situation. You can't. Now you basically have a 2-man advantage here. Only 2 lances with the possibility of shooting at you. And you see Xplosive. No, the trade's going to come through. Triple Cap domination for a moment as they staggered out that death from Powerz. Getting that capture back. This is a 2v2 going down, so this can easily be turned around by eUnited. But no, Gearries shuts it down. They want this win. They want to tie it up. Praized doing what he can to stay alive, but Gearries finds himself helping out Mortys. That's going to be 2 kills, and they went ahead and they staggered the death just long enough. As soon as that decap came through, that's when they picked up the elimination, so they waste no time capturing the hill.
Beautiful job. Only going to be down by about 70 points in this one. They will come back eventually. eUnited has to mount up, come back off of this fight. Xplosive seems like he's losing his mind a little bit down here, just bouncing around, throwing out lances. Is that what you call that? Is that bored in their PR? Because that to me looks like you've had 1 too many packs of fun dip, and you're not exactly sure what to do with both of your hands because you feel like you got 3 of them. Flashes out by eUnited. Here they come back into the fight. A lot of Lancer damage out early into this one. You can see the downs will come through in the top. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to clean up any of those kills. Meanwhile, Powerz is down after going for a massive flank. I believe it's going to be 3 versus 3 on the map. Xplosive is moving up into the back U side of this fight. Kenny moves in as well. Flash out. Xplosive will be stunned. Praized is there with him. Praized is going to go down. Xplosive saves his life momentarily. Kenny's going to try to pressure a 1v1 of his own. Opposite side of this. Slides up. Xplosive finds one. Now Xplosive reloads the snub. My goodness gracious. Noble will find yet another team victory. So I see this might go tied up 3-3 and go into the latter parts of this matchup and be a best of 3.
Yep, and Xysho landing himself a shot grenade. eUnited, this is not going to be their first target. They can't go after E right away, and if they do, it's going to come at the cost of a shot grenade. They're trying to push back. I talked about this alleyway having so important of positioning, but that X angle coming through. Gearries and that player on towards the home hill, which is Mortifys, going to lock down their home hill, and in turn, lock down this round. And once again, Colin, we got ourselves a tie game.
Best of 3 now. eUnited, if they want to shut this down, they got to win 2 out of the next 3 rounds. Noble, they want to send this to a map 3, have to do the same. So here we go. Hovering over that overlook. I'm not sure if anybody's going to place down a power weapon right now.
I wouldn't think so. Ensigns to protect your home.
Yep, that's what it looks like we're going to see from both squads as well.
Ooh.
60 seconds.
But I will say eUnited is one of the teams statistically that halves it down to every 60 seconds more so than the other. Because if this goes round number 9, that means, and I do believe, I could be wrong, that Noble has to put a weapon down center line. Because next round they would use their lock or counteract the lock, and then the round after that would have to be another weapon being placed down.
I can see that. I understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down there, PR. Breaking out in this next round, round number 7. Praized is going to get challenged here by Lava in the middle of the map. Kenny's there as well. Lava will have a lot of damage onto Kenny. Kenny could go easily down in the situation. Xplosive has to rotate back and try to get the quick revive off. The flash comes out. Xplosive doesn't have a Lancer out. He has a Shoddy out, which won't give him any position, but Powerz slides up into that kill, finds himself a second there with a little bit of help from Kenny. So now it's 2v4 on the map. eUnited will have the 2-to-1 hill advantage. Opposite side of the map, Lava's gone down, so the only person left alive for Noble really in a position to make any damage done was Gearries. He goes down. Triple cap domination being threatened. Power stays out of the hill. The shots from the top heaven come on to Xysho, but there's a quick down and kill, and the incendiary, I think, cut him off. This could be a triple cap domination very quickly because nobody's going to get there in time. eUnited, they go up 4-3, 1 round away from a 2-0 victory.
Now you got to guess it. We know eUnited special. When they get that 4th round, they throw out their lock. They make it much harder. Noble almost has to answer back with a lock of their own, or they're putting themselves so far in the hole that United would most certainly take advantage. And this is where I talk about next round. You see that Retro could be upgraded to an Ensign, but on the side of Noble, they have to throw that weapon down center line. Yes, we've seen some Marksas getting thrown down to be a distraction, but even the Marksa is a very deadly weapon in the right hand.
Sable's out. Both teams locking up the shocks, so nobody will be able to use that here at that E hill. As we come to the next round, Noble is in a must-win situation. And I like what I see. Lava actually drifting toward the middle of the map, and there's it's an audible. That's a full force audible.
Enemy contact.
I'm thinking, are they gonna get it though? Lava's being targeted.
What a shot by Lava to get the extra damage, and now the quick rotation out from Noble. Xplosive, he needs 1 shot to get that kill. Back A out, goes for the 2nd shot, won't be able to get the up A to work. Multiple deaths. Kenny's in the area with a Retro, just letting fire go down range. Won't be able to find a kill, and steals the Ensign. He stole the Ensign.
Throwing fire.
What?
He's gonna catch Gearries. I think he was trying to catch Gearries in the corner.
I'm dumbfounded by Noble letting him get away with the Ensigns, and then you throw that. I think he definitely could have used it better. We know how good these players are. That's why I don't settle for excuses, Colin. That must have been a better usage of the Ensign for your Kenny, but luckily for United, they're on match point. Xplosive going in, leading the charge. He stunned Kenny, so he separated him in a 1v1, but he doesn't get the kill. And Kenny, the first player getting stunned, is going to go ahead and get the last lap, but Gearries sneaks ahead, goes across. This is going to be a trade for heals. Nobody has the opportunity to keep the lead in their favor here. Praized finding a big elimination. Cleaned up, though, so this is going to be trade after trade after trade going through. Neither team wanting to give up an inch because they know their opponents will take a mile. And Kenny, this team is on series point here. They want to close this one down. Triple cap domination sounding off. 2 players are definitely going to keep this one going. The touch is going to come through.
Touch will come through. They will get the decap, but eUnited will take that point lead here momentarily. And this is one of those scary situations because you're up over 100, up over 130 or so. So Noble, they're going to have to figure out where this next push is going to come from, and it's going to have to be pretty perfect. Kenny will start to shut it down with the Retro. He's going to reload, have the active 13 rounds left to be able to put any damage he wants to. Gets 1 down. Now he's going to try to help out, get a 2nd down or 2. They're going to continue to put out a lot of damage up here. Xplosive is just holding court. He is basically the judge, jury, and executioner of whether or not you get to the Overlook. And he has found everyone guilty and found them all wanting as he shuts down 3 in a row with a little bit of help from Kenny, playing from that U side, up over 200 points. Same situation for Noble. You must fly, and I don't know about men, but it is fear that can give an angel wings, and they have got to fly.
Got to fly higher than the eUnited Eagle. There goes 1. Trying to go for the decap as well. They can't even stay and capture this. Nobody's on the home hill for Noble, and that is going to be the final nail in the coffin. eUnited will take the map 5-3 and close out the series 2-0.
Oh boy, what a fantastic. I gotta call that a comeback, because there were times where it looked like Noble was really finding their footing. They were really starting to put the grooves onto eUnited, but then eUnited, they figure out what they got to do. They rotate around the map. They play a little bit better, a little bit closer, and I'm sorry, but Top Overlook just became the playground of eUnited. The shocks with the triple down and death they had there in initial, and then there in round number 8, a not a must-win round for eUnited, but a must-win round for Noble. Kenny behind, getting all the extra damage from the angle at back you, and Xplosive, I mean, holding court, throwing the gavel down, and putting a final emphatic note on this matchup with a 2-0 victory over Noble.
And then the key, really the difference is, and I talked about it, eUnited is one of those teams that puts that 60-second retro down more than any other team in the league right now. And that's a prime example why. Not only do you leave your options open for round number 9, putting that whip weapon down, the lock, and it gives you multiple options, but you see how deadly it was in the right hands. On the flip side of things, Noble's incendiary grenade, not only was it not utilized to its full potential, it was even stolen away by eUnited. So I want these teams really to take note and really think a little bit longer when you upgrade that retro, get it out of play, and swap it for both of those utilities, because it does so much damage, especially on a map like Training Grounds, where there's so many pathways, so many long hallways where you have to travel through.
Yeah, definitely. And again, toward the end there, the way that they were able to cross out, get the extra downs and damage, and just rotate around. I especially love that audible by eUnited where they basically head fake. They send 3 or 4 people one way. Once they realize that Noble's got the call out, everybody just turns toward the home hill, and they're going to go for that pressure. And while they don't get it in the initial try, the secondary attempt gets it, which spreads Noble out far enough for eUnited to use their talent, their skill, their 1v1 ability across the map to start winning some of those smaller gunfights and get those kills to secure those hills and really rack up those points and make it oh so difficult for Noble. But PR